What is up, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Bradley, and my boy, T-Ball.
Hey, guys.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, good to be here.
This is the Heated Waves podcast. Thanks for tuning in today. We got a pretty good show for you. We're going to talk some NFL.
Yeah, it's going to be a little interesting when I get into it a little bit here.
So let's get right into it. Let's talk about Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, crazy over there with Tyreek Hill. Obviously, he got into a little bit of trouble with the child abuse scandal that he had going on with him and the mother of the child. We talked about it before. Well, apparently there's some new news on that. The NFL is actually going to not suspend him, and I guess the situation unfolds like this, is how it works out is Tyreek Hill has no suspension. He's not going to miss any games, and apparently he's going to get this huge contract as well now as the talks, because the case has basically been set to where it can be reopened, but no charges are being filed right now. If new evidence comes to light, then they can reopen the case, obviously, and charge him with the child abuse. But until then, it's kind of just sitting out in the open, and he's free to go. There's no filed charge.
The reason why he's not getting suspended by the NFL is because it didn't break the policy with the NFL players, policy.
I think really the NFL just has a mindset that you're not charged and going to jail, then you're good. You can play and you're free to get your money and do what you do.
And that's where my problem lies.
As long as you're in trouble, we don't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah, because that's what the Chiefs did. If you go back to the timeline, as soon as it came out in March, he got dropped. Suspended him indefinitely from the Chiefs organization, telling him he couldn't do any activities whatsoever, whether it's just training camp or off-season workouts, anything. And then he doesn't get charged. There's no charges. It gets dropped. He's basically free to go. They have him on audio. Apparently, audio doesn't do enough anymore.
Respects you, but it's not. It's not respect. It's terrified. He is terrified of you.
You need to be terrified of me too. No.
And they said time and time again that literally kept saying, "Daddy punches me," which you do when he starts crying. What do? You make him open up his arm and you punch him in the chest. And then if he gets in trouble, you get the belt out and you do.
Okay, so what about you? You what you don't do? Also, I'm just gonna take.
I mean,
he didn't deny in that audio that he wasn't punching his son in the chest at 3-4 years old to discipline him. So that says, yes, I did it in my eyes. And it's like there's no suspension for this kind of thing. Like the NFL doesn't have a problem with this, but they'll kick other players out for smoking weed. You can punch somebody, but you can't smoke weed in the NFL. You can punch a little child. Like, that's what we're coming to in the NFL, and I think it should be suspended.
You can also rape a girl and then pay a bunch of money to a charity and get out of it.
Ben Roethlisberger.
And still play football.
Ben Roethlisberger.
But, yeah, it's a crazy situation.
Do you think he should be suspended?
Suspended? No.
Not one game.
He's not in trouble by any means. It's a business. He's there to play football, and that's what he's good at. So let's watch him play football.
I say you give him a game or two.
If he abused his child, that's pretty fucked up, obviously. I don't know what would happen if there was proof that he did. Is he going to go to jail?
There was proof. There's audio.
But if they actually charged him, is what I'm saying.
I just think he should be suspended a game or two to think and, hey, by not suspending him, allowing this person, it doesn't matter if it was an NFL player or a regular person, their mindset's going to be like, oh, I got away with it once, I'm probably going to do it again.
Yeah, but you don't have actual proof.
There's audio proof.
There's
not video.
Say, yeah, I punched his ass in the chest.
But he didn't deny it. And that's... you have to at least deny it.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
I think he should get a game. Game or two.
Maybe.
Make him think.
So.
Because, like I said just a second ago, if you don't suspend a player like this or do anything to them, this is what's going to happen. They're going to think, well, I got away with this. I can do it again, or something even worse.
But what about the people out there that are going to say, I think he should not play the rest of the season?
That's extreme. If they had video and him doing all this, and him admitting it, then yeah, suspend him for the whole season. But since there's no video, I think that's where the problem lies with this. There's no video, there's just audio. So apparently audio doesn't win it, like I said.
But I think people are going to be like, whether or not there's audio or video,
you should beat your kid.
Child. Yeah, so
absolutely. I'm not saying you should beat your kid like that too, where you punch him in the chest. I think that's ridiculous. That's why I was saying he should get a game or two, but not a whole season unless it was actually on video. If it was on video, then I'd be like, yeah, get this guy out of the fucking league. There's no whole season. It's all goodbye, bye. You know, fuck that.
Yeah.
I think this is ridiculous, though.
Now he's going to get a huge contract.
Yeah, because he's... Well, hell, Madden rated him at 94, if that means anything, for the Madden 2020 game coming up. 94 overall, even with all this issues going on. So,
I mean,
he's
the
balling.
Chiefs announced Hill will rejoin the team for training camp. So,
yep, and that was as of July 19th. I don't know. I just feel like a game or two to make this guy realize you can't just do anything you want and get away with it, okay? There was some evidence, audio evidence. Yes, he didn't deny. Yes, he didn't say, yes, I did it. But still, to me, that's the same thing.
If he can stay out of trouble, I bet he has a damn good year.
Oh, yeah, another good year. That's just how it goes.
Do you think he should get a big contract?
Absolutely. I think he should get at least a 4 or 5 year deal worth $100 million. I think this guy is one of the fastest, most electrifying guy in football today. When
he started extending Rodgers and Brady. Mahomes, plenty of time. Showing off the arm. Acrobatic grab. Tyreek Hill for Kansas City. Mahomes, timing route down the sideline. It's caught. Touchdown.
He catches a ball. Most guys are not going to catch him.
Yeah, he's the fastest I've seen in a while. He reminds me of, oh God, what was his name? He used to do the punt returns
or Dante Hall.
Dante Hall.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a Dante Hall, but Dante Hall didn't have hands like Hill does.
No, drop a lot of open stuff that he should have caught.
I wonder who was faster, Hall or Hill. Hill's fucking fast, dude,
he's fast and quick and agile. I think he would beat Dante Hall.
That'd be nice to see. We'd have to check that out. But yeah, speaking of electrifying running backs, who else we got on the ticker?
Let's go right into Melvin Gordon, his situation. He's got a shitty situation, if you will. And if you're a Chargers fan, and I know a few, you're mad right now, right? He's holding out. He's saying he's going to hold out of training camp, which he could lose $30,000 a day, which is $1.3 million if he sets up the whole bitch until preseason, for a new contract, or trade him. And there's been lots of talks with teams that he's going to, including our Packers, which is would be tremendous. I would take him in a heartbeat, bro. He's from Wisconsin. Go Badgers. I mean, come on. And he's just electrifying when he plays the game. He is just incredibly good athlete, and they're talking about that they don't really want to give him this mass contract, that he's not worth it. He's been in the league 4 years. He's a first-round pick. T-Ball, do you give him a big contract, 4 or 5 years? And if so, how much per year? Or trade him. See where you're at.
If the Chargers can afford him, I say yeah. I mean, as long as it's not something ludicrous. But yeah, I say yeah. You give Melvin Gordon a pretty good sized paycheck. You keep him healthy, and you run it down everybody's throats like
that's what he does.
He's capable of doing.
Yeah, he only missed 7 games in the last 3 seasons.
He can catch. He's great when he's in the open field. He can pop off somebody too. I mean, just keep.
Here's for the Chargers. Stop and go. Melvin Gordon. Gordon trucks a defender. That's play of the drive. Pitching. Gordon looking for blockers. Zigzag move. Gordon dives for the touchdown. On 2nd and 6, here's Gordon shot out of the penny. 35-23 Rams. The slice by Gordon. Rivers says no. Well, here's Gordon into the open field. Touchdown.
Rolling.
Here's a great stat to look at. If you're going to sign a guy that's a running back, you want to make sure they got great hands, right? They're not fumbling the ball. He fumbled the ball twice in the last 2 seasons. 0 were fumble losses. He got them right back. 2 fumbles in the last 2 seasons. That's incredible. That's some great fucking hands. Not only to go with that, but the last 3 seasons, he has 4,400 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Wow.
And last year, he missed. Those were the biggest chunks of games he's missed all season for any season he's ever played, which is 4 games. He only played 12 games, but had 885 rushing yards. He had 14 total touchdowns. He had 1,375 yards from the line of scrimmage. So he had 500 receiving yards to go on with his 885 in a 12-game season.
Yeah.
He's only, like I said, he's only missed 7 games in the last 3 years. That's somebody I want on my team that's just solid year after year.
How old is he right now?
26 years old. So he's fresh, bro. He's only been in the league. His first season, he only got to play 14 games, but they didn't really hand it off.
If he's lucky, he might have another 4 years. So
4 to 5.
you might
very
as well
years.
get him while you got him young.
But that's a problem. See, that's why he's talking about either pay me or trade me, because there's been so many good players being traded when they're at their prime. Look, Le'Veon Bell, he's sat out, and now he's a Jet. Why would you want to go to the Jets? But either way,
It seems like that's the new thing, like we were talking about. Everybody just keeps holding out, and it's like everybody's going to start demanding all these high contracts and stuff. It's like with Drew Lock over at the Denver Broncos. He's not. I don't even believe he's going to be the starting quarterback.
No, he's number 2 on the
Joe
depth chart.
Flacco, and he's holding out for a contract, as well as one of the other backup quarterbacks in Rigby, or whatever the hell his name is, way down on the depth charts,
5th.
holding out for a contract, and they signed him before they even signed Drew Lock.
The 5th guy
It's like, why
on
are
the
you
depth
people
chart.
holding out? You've never even played a professional football game in your life.
But apparently that's what you can do in the NFL
That's
to get a
how
contract.
anybody ever fucking does in the NFL.
And look what it did to Le'Veon, though. It made him have to sit a whole season because the Steelers were such pricks about it. And it just blows my mind with it. But Melvin Gordon should get paid.
I think Melvin Gordon should get paid too, and if he wants to get paid, I think he should go to Green Bay.
I sure wish we could, but here's the stats that I love the most. That is the reason why the Chargers should pay him. He has the most rushing yards, the most receiving yards, the most yards from scrimmage, and touchdowns when playing AFC teams. And not to mention the most rushing yards he's had, the most touchdowns he's had, and the most receiving yards he's had, plus wins, have been against the Broncos, the Chiefs, and the Raiders last year. Isn't that crazy? All the teams in their division, so that's why they need to re-sign him. He's the key part of that. And he's balling his best against the division teams, which your ultimate goal is to what? Win a division title?
Yep.
Then win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
He's trying to do that for you, so pay him.
Because, I believe if you get rid of Melvin Gordon, that's a big gap in your playbook.
And then people are going to go, well, Austin Eckler, or whatever his name was, came in there for those 4 games that he was hurt and balled it up. That's fine. They have a good offensive line, too.
Yeah.
So you have to factor it in. But you're willing to let this other rookie, Austin Eckler, this will be his second year, so he's no longer a rookie, rely on him, or just sign Melvin Gordon, for fuck's sakes.
If
No
you were
brainer.
smart, you would.
It's a no-brainer.
Because I know if they don't, somebody's going to want to.
They're going to give him a big contract somewhere else.
It's a possibility. Green Bay, I heard New England wants him.
New England wants it, everybody.
So they better make up their minds real quick.
Do it, and do it in big fashion, because Melvin Gordon's going to get paid regardless if it's the Chargers or it's somebody else.
Yeah.
And you don't want him going to the division, so...
And if he can stay healthy, he's could possibly be a Hall of Famer in my eyes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He keeps doing what he's doing right now, these past 3 seasons.
And he's in a
fine.
tough division, too.
The toughest in the AFC, I think.
I mean, that division is like, it's probably the number 1 rushing division.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
league, I would
they
say.
run the ball there.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a great division to be in, and to say, I was the best rusher in that division.
And balling against those teams.
Hell, again, in the AFC, shit.
Yeah, it's much harder.
All I had on you have anything else, bro?
Nah, man, it's a great show. Pleasure to just discuss and bitch about the
football season's coming up.
Yep.
I don't know who your favorite team is, but, leave a shout out there. Tell us who your favorite football team is. Who's going to win the championship this year?
even an early, prediction. If you want to send us video voicemails. We'll put them on the show, and then we'll argue back our point to whatever you want to argue about. Or if you just want to comment on something, we'll give our opinion back to you through video and put you on the show. So if you want to do that, don't forget Heated Waves. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and send us all any kind of video live stuff.
Forget to Google us.
Absolutely.
Google us,
And come right over to YouTube.
Don't
So
forget to like and subscribe.
share, comment down below, and hit the notification. I'm Mr. Bradley.
And I'm T-Ball.
And this is the Heated Waves podcast. Brought to you by the Heated Waves Network. Peace.
Thanks, guys.